Have you been thinking about living off-grid in an RV or a van, but you're really caught up on how expensive and what a hassle it is to install solar? It can be really expensive. It can cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's such a hassle. You have to install panels and batteries and inverters and converters and controllers, and that might be cost prohibitive for a lot of people who just want to hit the road. I think I found a solution for you. I am excited to partner with Bluetti to show you the AC180 portable power station today. I am going to run my whole off-grid RV life on this power station today. It's got super powerful 1800 watt AC output and up to 1152 watt hours. So it should last a long time. And I'm gonna have some fun with it today. We're gonna plug in all kinds of crazy things to see how long this lasts and how much power it'll put out to run some real pretty fun appliances in my RV life. Because you know, I like to cook and things like that. Do you think I'm gonna be able to make it a full day on one charge? Let me know in the comments below, yes or no, and stay with me to the end to find out. All right, so obviously there's a couple things in my RV that I'm not gonna be able to plug into the Bluetti today. My refrigerator runs mostly on propane, so it's not gonna be like a typical refrigerator that you might have in a van or even a house if you're using it for emergencies. The refrigerator mostly runs on propane, but it does have an electrical starter or something like that. But I'm not gonna be able to plug that into the Bluetti today, but I am going to plug everything else in. My laptops, my blender, my coffee grinder, my phone. We're gonna charge as many things as possible today just to kind of give you an idea of the charging needs of my everyday life, and we're going to see how the Bluetti performs. So it's got 4 AC power outlets. It's got 4 USB-A outlets, so you can charge 4 different USB things all at once, and it's got a mini USB or a USB-C. These are your output, so this is where you plug in your solar panel, and this is where you can plug it into a cigarette lighter. And check it out, it's got wireless. Look at that. So that's super convenient, so I can just put my phone on there. So like I said, this has boasts over 1100 watt hours of use. So what the heck does that mean? For every hour that you run a watt, a single watt, that is a watt hour. So if you're running something that's 100 watts, you're gonna get 11 hours out of the Bluetti AC. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is make my coffee. I've been waiting to make my coffees. It's 10:46 a.m. We have 100% charge. You'll see here the AC is on. That's showing that the AC is being used. I've got a light here I'm using. So this is my routine every day. I plug my coffee maker into my inverter so that I can grind coffee. But let's plug it into the Bluetti. So the Bluetti is showing that I could continuously grind coffee for 9 hours on the Bluetti AC180. Nobody's going to do that. So we didn't even make a dent in the percentage that we've used. So we've got fresh ground coffee now. Look at that. Ah, can you smell it? All right, the biggest draw I have these days in my everyday RV life is my Starlink. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug my Starlink. We're gonna run it on the Bluetti all day. You'll see right here, the Bluetti right now is showing me that with nothing plugged in, I've got 99 hours left of charge. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the Starlink. So it's pulling up to 80 watts, and it's saying 11 hours. I can run the Starlink for 11 hours. All right, we're gonna go ahead and plug in the vacuum cleaner. And since I'm storing things on top, let's go ahead and plug in my cell phone. Plug the light back in. What else can we plug in? My laptop. Let me grab one of my laptops. So with everything plugged in, we have 95 about 95 watts going out. It's saying it'll run all of this for 9 hours. Okay, so it's time to make my breakfast, and I like to make oatmeal protein pancakes, so I grind up the oatmeal in my Vitamix, and so let's see if this runs the Vitamix. If it doesn't, we have a solution, and I'll show you that. Nice pancake flour. I am beyond excited that I can actually run my Vitamix on the Bluetti 180. But if I wasn't able to run it, it's rated at 1500 watts. If it was any higher, there is an app that you can download on your phone, the Bluetti app, so that you can interact with your Bluetti, turn it on, turn it off, look at the status. But check this out. Can you see that? It's got a powerlifting mode that allows you to run up to 2700 watts. That's impressive for a power station this size. So I could just use powerlifting mode and I can run an appliance up to 2700 watts. Exciting! Getting a little warm in here. It's 85 degrees. I would normally turn on my fans in my ceiling, but since I'm running my day on my Bluetti, I'm going to go ahead and plug in a regular household fan, and we'll see how long it'll run the fan. The nice thing about the Bluetti compared to what I have in my RV is the Bluetti has a pure sine wave inverter, which means it's going to run more powerfully and stronger than it does on my inverter anyway. So we're going to plug it in now. Everything's been plugged in for several hours. It's about 1 o'clock. So we'll see where we're at. We still have the Starlink plugged in, and we're going to plug in this fan. So it's 1:40, so everything's been plugged in for about 3 hours, including the Starlink, and still charging my Mac and my vacuum cleaner. We're going to go ahead and plug the fan in, cool it off a little bit in here while I work. Oh, that feels good already. So I still have 8 hours. I can run the fan for 8 more hours. That means if I were to plug it in at 75%, it would definitely run overnight. And that's on high. I could turn it down. Look at, and I'm almost at 9 hours. But that's also with the Starlink on. Let's unplug the Starlink real quick and see. Look at that. The Starlink takes a lot. So that's the fan. With the fan turned on and charging my laptop and my GoPro, look at that. I have 15 hours left. So this will run the fan for 2 nights. I'm going to keep it running all day so that we can keep an eye on things, and I'll show you in real time what this looks like. Well, almost in real time. I also have to plug back in my Starlink. So that's my output right now with everything. My Bluetooth is on for my app. Does that feel good? Got a nice fan? You got a nice fan? It feels good, huh? I have had my Starlink plugged into the Bluetti since about 11:30 this morning. That's 9 hours. So 9 hours, my Starlink has been plugged in, which pulls a lot of power. And since about 1 o'clock, my fan has been running, and it's still running. So I want to leave everything plugged in as long as I can to see how long the charge is going to last on this. Because there are times, especially when I'm in the East, when a fan blowing over me in bed is really, really helpful. So it's 8:30. Let's see where we're at on the battery. It says 2.5 hours left. We're down to 19%. We currently have 65 watts. Where are we? Up to 72. So it's fluctuating a little bit, but we still have 2 hours left of running the fan. and the Starlink, and I have this light plugged in. So we'll check it again before I go to bed. But right now we have, what is that? 9 hours of Starlink plus 7 hours of a fan. Pretty good. It definitely would run all night if you needed it to. And I'm sure it would run a CPAP all night if you needed it to run a CPAP. I can double check on that for you, but a lot of you I know run CPAPs and that's a main concern for you. But if it can run a Starlink for 9 hours and a fan for 7 hours, that's pretty good on one charge. So the first thing I did this morning is I brought the Bluetti back out to get it charged up so that I can use it another day. By the time I turned it off last night, I had about 7% battery left. I think it was about 9:30, so I'm pretty impressed with its performance. And today I'm charging it with a 200-watt solar panel. So it comes with this solar connector so that you can connect it to your solar panels. You can connect up to 500 watts of solar and it'll charge in about 3 hours. That's pretty good. I have it hooked up to 200 here, so it's going to take a little bit longer. And my solar setup actually plugs right in, so I don't need the MC4s. The other way that you can charge, and the fastest way, is by plugging it into shore power, plugging it into your house, regular 110, 120. And this is the fastest charge I have ever seen on a portable power station. You can go from 0% to 80% in just 45 minutes. That's super fast. The third way you can charge your Bluetti is through your car charger. And that's going to take about 10 hours. It's a 12-volt charge. It's very slow. But if you're going to be driving all day, driving for a couple of days, just plug this into your cigarette lighter. It's not a cigarette lighter anymore, but you can plug this in and you can charge it while you drive. The fourth way is you can actually plug this into your generator. So if you can plug this into your 1400 watt generator, it'll charge it in like an hour and a half. So there are many ways you can keep your Bluetti charged. And the other thing is it's got the latest lithium battery technology, the LiFePO4, which means it's super safe and it's super long lasting. You're going to get 10 years out of this. Even if you use it every day, you're going to get about 3,000 charges out of this. So like I said, if you're going to be using it in your van or your RV life, you're going to get about 10 years of use out of this for a fraction of what you would pay to have a solar system installed. So a solar panel, you can get a 100-watt solar panel for like $100, and you can get a Bluetti for a fraction of the cost of what it takes to do a solar install. And everything is built in. You have the pure sine wave inverter. It's already got a built-in controller, so you're not going to flood your batteries. All the things that you pay for an installation on your RV, you don't have to worry about. It's less hassle and it's just a fraction of the cost. So after using this for a day, oh wait, you hear that? Probably not. Oh yeah, you have my mic on. 45 decibels. It's one of the quietest charging fans I have ever heard. That's not bad at all. So if you are charging it in your house, you don't have to worry about it being so disruptively noisy. You can also set it to silent mode, which is a very nice feature. But I gotta tell you, after using it, I used it yesterday all day. I charged my Macintosh instead of plugging in my power hog of an editing laptop, because most people, whether you're working on the road, whether you're running a laptop for entertainment, that's all you're gonna need. You're gonna plug in your Mac or whatever and charge it in a couple hours, and you're gonna use it for a couple of days. So I think what I demonstrated yesterday is going to be exactly
exactly what most of you who are thinking about living off-grid are gonna need. And I think it was a really good demonstration of how long it lasts, how much power it is to run things like my Vitamix, so it's going to be able to run most of your appliances, your CPAP, anything that you might need to be able to run off grid. So I hope you found this super helpful. Thank you, Bluetti, for allowing me to bring this to my audience. Again, no hassle, a fraction of the cost of an expensive solar install. Why not? It's a no-brainer. And if you want to check out the Bluetti, check the link in the video description below so that you can start your off-grid adventures, or if you want something, backup power source in case of an emergency. A lot more people are doing that. All right, I'll see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind.